Hey, it's Ryan with QLZ. We have another home edition. Adam, you get to come to my house here. You saw the Packers stuff
I
and
love
everything else, and I know we got the pubs of Lambeau over my one shoulder here. So I don't know if people can see it or not. That's a bunch of the bars that are in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I got the flag, and Bears fans love it. I'm telling you,
That's great.
Bears fans love it here when they see these home editions. They're like, "Great, the guy's got his Packers flag up again. It's wonderful." So, dude, Adam, you have your own musical project. It's called the A.D.A.M Music Project. It is. I wrote it down as well, so I would not forget this. It is artists developing astonishing music.
Music project.
Music project. So it's perfect, man. And we've got your song, "The Conqueror." I told you about the artist spotlight, so our listeners know. Tuesday the 22nd, 8:30 in the morning, and we're going to talk to you about video games. We're going to talk to you about the song, but first off, man, just tell me about the A.D.A.M project, because you've got people from like 19 to 51 who are in the band.
Yeah.
How did this collaboration come together, and really just, what's your guys' goal with this project?
I've been a gamer my whole life, and I love video games. And my wife will tell you I play video games like a freak. I've been a hard rock musician my entire life. I've also owned an independent record label called Astonish Entertainment, where I produced many bands over the years. And finally, she said to me, she's like, "Why don't you do your own thing?" And I said, "Well, I've got no real message I want to send. I want to do hard rock music, but I'm like, I'm not angry. I don't need to talk about my parents. I said, but I love video games." And I said, "Well, what if we did like a hard rock variety act where we brought in different singers, different lead guitar players, different people to add to the music, but all the music had to be kick-ass.
Yeah.
It has to be real good music, killer choruses, killer instrumentation, killer melodies, but every single song is about a video game character." And so we started that about a year ago.
Okay.
And we did a whole album dedicated to a game called Apex Legends, which is a battle royale game. So we wrote 20 songs. And
just about Apex.
Just about Apex.
Wow. Okay.
But my vision was always to do it about all different video games. And so on the new album, the first single we released, which is the one you're going to be playing today, so thank you, it's called "The Conqueror." I tell people it's the other song about Bowser. So you have Jack Black's Peaches, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And ours takes him a little bit more serious. And so the Koopa King, who is Bowser, is treated as the conqueror and a badass dude in our song. And that's kind of what we did. And now the new album coming out, Ryan, this in November, we're releasing 2 other singles prior to that. There's a duet between Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man called "Eating Ghosts." There's a song about Valentine from Resident Evil called "Burn It All Down." We did a song about Kratos from God of War called "God of War." Joel from The Last of Us, we did a song, and that's called "She's the Key." So, it's been fun. It's been Damian Aranda from the band Aranda is my co-producer on the project. Him and I have been doing it since day one. And we try to find the best singers to match the characters. So if it's a female character, we try to find someone that can fly in and be awesome in that regards. And if it's a male, we try to find the right voice and the right fit. So if you love video games, you might like our music. If you love rock and roll, you're going to love it. But if you like video games and you like rock and roll, you're going to be like, what the hell just happened? And that's kind of the point of what we're trying to do with the A.D.A.M Music Project.
And that's why I wanted to interview. Again, this pitch came out of, hey, A.D.A.M would love to do interviews. And I'm thinking, well, I played video games since I was a kid, and N64 was my first system ever. So what was the first system you ever played on?
Well, people are not going to, this is really dating myself. So you mentioned that the artists on the A.D.A.M Music Project are between 19 and 51. Yeah. I am the elder statesman. So I am the top realm of that. My very first video game that I had, my brother used to program video games on Commodore 64. But the first console we had was a game system called Intellivision. So this is for people, man, if you're anywhere near my age, you had Atari and you had Intellivision. And my dad got us Intellivision, and then we begged him for Atari. That's kind of how it went.
Yeah, N64 is the first system my brother and I were allowed to have. I think I was 11 or 12 years old, and they didn't want us playing video games when we were like 7, 8, so you had to go to the friends' houses to play them. And then finally they came around and said, all right, you guys work up enough money, you do projects, you put aside your own money, whatever else, you can go buy an N64 and everything else. So I got to ask you, I'm a massive Assassin's Creed fan.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of video games I can sit down and I can play for a little while and be fine.
Yeah.
I can get lost in like 4 to 5 hours of Assassin's Creed. So,
Yeah.
would you ever do a song about any of the assassins from Assassin's Creed?
100%.
My personal favorite is Ezio. I'm Italian, so my personal favorite is Ezio.
Ezio. I'm going to write that down.
All right.
Well, you're getting the song. And, so we actually just finished writing 12 songs for our spring record that's coming out.
Okay.
And we're doing songs, about Pikachu. There's a song about Pikachu. There's a song about Snake. We have a song called All Hail the King about Duke Nukem.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
We're going back in time. We did one on Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, but I have not done Assassin's Creed, and I have seen 4 of those, at least 3 or 4 of them.
Okay.
And I, like you, get lost for 4.5 hours. The one with the ship, I can't remember the name of that one.
Black Flag. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, where you play as the pirate. Yep.
I got lost in that. There was one day I think I spent 12.5 hours.
Well, it's like you start, boarding ships and the naval. Like at Assassin's Creed 3, you got to do a little bit of the naval combat. Then Black Flag was like, yeah, you're gonna be on the water as much as you want. And it's like, oh my god, this is awesome! Like I can fire cannons, and then there's like front cannons you can fire at them, and it's like, oh cool, now I destroyed them enough, I get to go board it and take over everything. This is pretty sweet.
It's a lot of fun, and video game characters are awesome. So we are looking at all different types of characters. We're trying to. I wrote one about Loba from Apex Legends.
Okay,
that's coming out. We did one about Yoshi. It's called That's Me. That's coming out later this fall. So you just try to, like, what we're trying to do is we're trying to say, okay, if these characters had a theme song, so to speak, what would it be like? What would it sound like? But we wanted it to live in the hard rock and the rock realm. So not everything's totally hard rock, but we got stuff that's almost metal sounding to stuff that's pop sounding, but it is all in the rock genre. And our target is really the active rock, because it's what Damien and I love the most. I mean, like I love Shinedown. I love Alter Bridge, my boy, Mark Tremonti. I love all those guys. And so we wanted to live in that world, but at the same time, we wanted it to be fun. But the lyrics, I don't know if you've seen any of the stuff, Ryan, that we did for Apex Legends. There's a song called I Bring Death. Okay. And it's about a character named Revenant, who is basically a Satan character. So when we wrote the song, there's scary lyrics, and we did an homage to Prince, which is pretty fun. Okay. You gotta check it out. We open it up with Dearly Beloved. We're gathered here today to get to this thing called death. Nice. We had Eric Gillette, who was in Mark Portnoy from Dream Theater's band. Okay. He did lead guitar for us on that track. And man, he shredded. And so the lyrics were like, demons were sitting on your shoulder, whispering in your ears. Okay. Headset on, it's like, ah! So, we're having a lot of fun, and we are looking for things like what you just did. Yeah. Have you ever thought about writing a song about that character? Because we want to know what the fans love. If somebody was going to have a hard rock song, what would who would you want it to be? So I wrote a song up for Master Chief from Halo. Yep. So those types of things. Dr. Eggman from Sonic is getting a track. So, it's fun. If you got ideas, please let us know. We'd love to hear them. Yeah, absolutely. If our listeners, reach out to Adam as well, give him a follow on socials and let him know. So what video games are you into right now? Is there one or two that you're like, you're kind of diving into? Obviously, you're doing a ton with music. You said you have an album in the fall, then another one coming out in the spring. We're doing 25 songs a year for the next 4 years. Wow. And we're releasing 2 full albums every year. We have already released to date 21 songs. 22 will be September 9th. It's a duet between Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man called Eating Ghosts. And that comes out in September. And awesome. I wrote that one. Ryan, no word of a lie. I wrote the song in 3 minutes. I went to the bathroom. I was standing at a urinal. And there was a urinal cake. If this is too much for your listeners, please forgive me. No, dude, you're good. I'll eat this up. There was a urinal cake at the bottom of the urinal. And it was in the shape of a Pac-Man. And it just came to you. And I was just like, oh, what? The whole song came flooding to me. I went back to the bar. I was grabbing a few drinks. And my wife said, what are you doing? I'm like, and I grabbed my phone and I sang the entire first verse and the chorus into my phone. And then 2 days later, we wrote it. And about a week later, we produced it. And it's just so much fun to be doing something like that at the end of the day. And so, we're very, very dedicated to that. As far as what I'm playing right now, I am a massive Apex Legends player.
Okay.
So the reason why I chose Apex Legends to start with is because it's my game. So I love battle royales. I've loved Call of Duty. I love
Fortnite.
Apex Legends. And so for those listeners who are Apex Legends fans, your mind is going to be blown when you go look up A.D.A.M Music Project and search for Apex Risen, because there's 20 songs featuring 17 different characters.
Wow. And
it's a blast. And so I'm a master player, which means I play competitively.
Okay.
And, you know, hey, I might be 51, but I'll come after you kids all day long. So it's a lot of fun. And then I love Horizon Dawn Alloy. She's actually getting a song on the next album. I love games like that. I love Assassin's Creed, things like that. But when you're a competitive battle royale player, Ryan, it's pretty much consumes your life.
Yeah. Well, when I lived in Bloomington, oh my gosh, the esports thing. I'm trying to remember what game they were playing, but how big it's become. I think there's colleges that have like esports teams now, like competitively. I think Kyler Murray, who plays for the Arizona Cardinals, he's like has his own squad as well. Like it's amazing the last like 5 years you've seen in video games from, you know, where people are like, oh, really? Why don't you get outside, to like way more of a accepted kind of lifestyle. And again, there's colleges you can go to scholarship now on like video games. It's incredible.
That's right. Well, you know what's nice, Ryan, is that my wife used to come in and like shake her head all the time. and now the good news is I'm doing one of two things. I'm either writing songs about other video game characters or I'm playing video games. And now because the A.D.A.M Music Project exists and it's becoming a thing and it's starting to grow. Yeah. My vision, Ryan, is that I love the fact that there's 19 different independent artists that have not been discovered to any large degree. And yet they're bringing their ridiculous talent and having fun doing it. Like, I wish I'd love to share with people like what it's like in the studio when Lacey Saunders comes in and she's channeling her inner Jill Valentine from Resident Evil. And she's going crazy, like the zombies are chasing her. We're doing a zombie choir. I mean, it's fun because we take the music very seriously, but we take the subject matter tongue in cheek. You know what I mean? So when we're writing the song like The Conqueror, you know, the lyrics are awesome. It could be great to motivate you as a human being, but when you know it's about the Koopa King from Super Mario Brothers, it becomes like kind of like awesome, cool, funny. And you know, one of the visions we have for our live show, which we plan on start doing a bunch of shows next year around the country, is to make it a place where gamers and rock lovers come together. Yeah. Maybe they dress in cosplay. Maybe they don't. Maybe they do. And I think it could be a lot of fun. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring back – everything's so serious in the world now. We're just trying to make kick-ass serious music about things that aren't serious.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good way to be. I mean, like you said, if there's festivals, there's always people dressed up. You always see people that are dressed up in goofy stuff. You usually don't for a lot of like normal shows. So it would be kind of an experience to go out there if you guys are able to get cosplayers in, or people come out, or like encourage people to dress up coming out to it. It's a whole different experience then as well.
Yeah, give a prize away for the best cause outfit, right? Yeah. Why not? Yeah. And I think it's fun, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's fun. And the cool thing about the project, man, is I couldn't do it without the other 25 people that have been involved in it. So my songwriting team, Damian Aranda, James Connor, Gabe Aranda, the four of us pretty much write all the songs. Every song starts with an idea and a concept that I have musically, and I music direct it. And then we write. Like Damian came over last week here in California, and we wrote 9 songs in 18 hours.
Wow.
And, you know, it's so much fun. We laugh our butts off. We have a great time. I mean, you know, one of the songs we're doing for Duke Nukem, the chorus is "All Hail the King. Everybody in the world bow down. All hail the King, Duke Nukem, chewing gum and kicking ass." And it's like, you know, stuff like that. It's just fun. Yeah. And, you know, when you put that together, coupled with amazing musicians, like we have a woman named Myra Beasley who sings. She's got the biggest voice in the world. Hartley, Adam Agliar, from another great singer. I have a guy named Joel Driscoll who's going to be singing on the album coming out this fall. So imagine if you're a rock fan and you love hard rock and you put on 20 songs, and in those 20 songs, there's 25 different featured artists. So you got a song with one female vocalist and different background vocalists. The next song is a different female.
Yeah.
But it all lives in the same rock world. And we all come together to try to make a cohesive album and project that songs are great and the subject matter is fun.
And you've created your own Marvel Cinematic Universe in a way.
Yeah. Well, I've actually considered all of us as video game characters at this point.
Yeah.
And I've got some fun ideas that I'm going to try to, see if what people think of it later this year. But I'm doing like video game cards, introducing the band, like, boom, Adam DeGraide, the eldest, the old man, like, boom, Yasmin, So it's kind of fun to treat it like that. The music is, but you've heard the song. I mean, this is serious rock and roll. Like, if you like hard rock, if you like rock music, you like strong singers and strong melodies, you're going to like A.D.A.M Music Project. If you don't like hard rock, I can't really help you.
Yeah. And again, it's why we love doing this feature, because we'll throw some alt stuff on there. It's mainly, everything lives in the world of rock for the most part with this feature, but it's like, there's stuff like what you're doing that, you'll be a project that is very different from anything else that I've ever done. And if you go back the 4 years, I think total, 3 years total, I've done this feature. I've never had anything like you guys before. And that's the point of it, is to share stuff that is new, that is different, that's inspired by a bunch of different things. And I was like, again, a lot of us have all played video games since we were kids. A lot of our audience is into video games. I do a question every day, and a few months ago, I asked people like their favorite video games. We had like 50, 60 people respond. So your favorite video game character, I believe, or franchise is what it was. So it's something that I know.
Is Alicio your favorite video game character of all time?
Probably. I mean, I was big in, like, growing up, it was GoldenEye was the big one for me. Perfect Dark, I was big into. I'm a big Madden guy. Just because I love sports so much. I'm thrilled that NCAA football is coming back, but like nothing has capped. And if there's good Star Wars games, I'm a massive Star Wars fan as well. But like nothing ever captured me with video games like Assassin's Creed did. Like immediately from the first one hooked. And I've played every one since then. And it's like I've been waiting 2 years now for the next one to finally get here. So it's like I've just been captivated by it all.
It's funny because my favorite game that I think changed my life, I played every video game in the world, as you could tell. Cubert. I'm a geek. I'm totally a geek. But the game that changed video games for me was Destiny. I don't know if you remember the game Destiny that came out.
Yeah, I played it. 1 second. So I played that game later than everybody else, and I enjoyed it, but I got so far behind from where other people were. Like, I'm trying to run around and play this game, and I was getting destroyed because I got into it way too late. But I do know it's fun.
Like with Apex Legends, like if you haven't done that game and you come in and try to fight a guy like me that's been there since day one, you're going to have some problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Destiny was that game that's, I started on day one, and it changed the way I saw video games. Kind of like the first time I ever went to a Cirque du Soleil show. Cirque du Soleil, their shows, for the listeners that have ever been to them, everyone knows what those are now. But when that show came out and you saw the gymnastics that other human beings in the world could actually do, it like changed entertainment. It was like music and gymnastics and entertaining. And I think when you think about like music in general, Ryan, for me, it's like I love the project because it's an endless amount of content.
Yeah.
The world is our oyster, so to speak. And at the end of the day, we can have fun with our fans because they can say, hey, how about a song about this? Hey, how about a song about that? And then it goes, yes, or nah. It's kind of like, but it's a lot of fun.
No, and we're looking for, again, Artist Spotlights, the 22nd, 8:30 in the morning. You're out in California right now, so 6:30 in the morning for you. The A.D.A.M Music Project, it's going to be 8:30 in the morning. The Conqueror, the song about Bowser. And Adam, before I let you go, man, it's a question I've got to ask you because I ask everybody this question now. It used to be a blog post. You obviously have a love for video games and a love for rock, and you've blended them together, which is great. Like, my initial goal when I was a kid was to be a sports writer. I love football, I love sports, and I love to write. I found radio and it kind of became something else. But man, your favorite complete albums of all time, your no skip records, just a few of them for me.
Back in Black.
All right.
Def Leppard, Hysteria. Queensryche, Operation Mindcrime.
Okay.
Oh geez, man. There's obviously anything Queen I've listened to from start to finish. Van Halen. Anything Van Halen, early Van Halen with David Lee Roth. I don't skip a song on those albums. More current stuff. I really love Falling in Reverse.
Yeah.
Falling in Reverse is like one of my. It drives my wife crazy. Like Ronnie Radke, I think is one. First of all, I never met the guy, but he's just badass. Like he's just a beast songwriter. His guitarists have always been amazing, so I never skip Falling in Reverse ever.
Yeah,
not one track.
And they're huge for us on QLZ. They're huge for us on QLZ.
Oh man, that band is just Ronnie is just one of the best rock songwriters. But my all-time favorite rock voice of all time, and I just watched a documentary on him, is Ronnie James Dio.
Okay.
I feel like Ronnie James Dio had like this voice that no matter where it was in the register, it was so powerful. It just ripped through the speakers and grabbed you and just brought you in. You know what I mean? And if you haven't seen Dreamers Never Die, the documentary, it's well worth your time. And so Holy Diver is one of my all-time favorite albums. King's X is another one of my favorite trios of all time. So anyway, I just love rock and roll. My dad told me I'd grow out of it, and here I am. I'm just getting more into it.
Yeah. I mean, that's awesome. Again, that's why I love asking this question, because everybody's got a little bit different answers from everybody else. Some of it's age related. Some of it's, what music you're making. Totally. It's always a little bit different. So again, man, The Conqueror, we're going to have it on the Artist Spotlights this upcoming Tuesday, the 22nd, 8:30 in the morning. Adam, dude, I'm so glad we got to chat video games. It was a blast for me, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks, brother. Have a nice day.